Like so many things happening on Capitol Hill, this investigation was filled with bickering between Democrats and Republicans. And today, Republicans put out a report that details an elaborate conspiracy about who was really pulling the strings. Chief investigative reporter Eric Flack and his team started digging through all 271 pages of the GOP response at 11 o'clock this morning. And Flack, Republicans, they put out their report an hour before the committee did. What did they say?
Well, it said a lot, Darren, and we're going to get to as much of it as we have time to. It was a preemptive strike, if you will. My sources on that side telling me the report from the House Oversight Committee Democrats was a nothing burger, with the Republican response, this 271-page response right here, suggesting the entire investigation was manufactured by billionaire Jeff Bezos to force Dan Snyder to sell him the team. In its 271-page memo, Republican Oversight Committee members suggested the Democratic-led investigation was driven behind the scenes by the billionaire owner of the Washington Post, Jeff Bezos, in an effort to force team owner Dan Snyder to sell the Commanders. Quote, Bezos is the owner of the Washington Post, whose negative coverage of Dan Snyder has been a key driver of committee Democrats' investigation. It appears that the entire effort may have had as its goal the removal of an unfavored owner and the installation of the owner of a left-leaning newspaper sympathetic to the Democratic Party. A source close to the investigation telling WUSA 9, quote, this could lead to its own investigation by the NFL or GOP when they take control. Bezos has yet to respond to the allegations. Republicans also released email chains that included former Washington Football general manager Bruce Allen, appearing to be from his work account, sharing sexist photos of women, including topless cheerleaders, mocking female referees, and using homophobic slurs. The Republicans made the case it was Allen, not Commanders owner Daniel Snyder, who created and spread the organization's toxic workplace culture, and released transcripts of portions of Snyder's 11 hours of testimony in which the owner denied allegations of sexual harassment and sexual assault and denied viewing explicit photos secretly recorded of cheerleaders. Allen was fired in 2019 after 10 seasons with the team. Republicans called the Commanders' investigation a, quote, sham and a waste of taxpayer money.
So we had this here, but get this, before the House Oversight Committee even released this report here, Republican committee members, they had their own report to release, calling it, quote, a sham investigation that ignored key facts.
Our chief investigative reporter Eric Flack is also digging through all 271 pages of that Republican response that was released around 11 this morning. Eric, you've got that part of the story too. I mean, you're holding the response, and it includes some damning emails and photos, all to make the case that Dan Snyder was not the problem.
Yeah, you know, Les, to me, this is part of the most interesting part of this story. Committee members pointing the finger squarely at General Manager Bruce Allen. The 271-page memo from Republican Oversight Committee members included alleged emails between former Washington Football general manager Bruce Allen, sent from his work account, to former Buccaneers and Raiders head coach John Gruden and others, sharing sexist photos of women, including topless cheerleaders, mocking female referees, and using homophobic slurs. In fact, much of what we reviewed is not suitable for TV. The Republicans make the case it was Allen, not Commanders owner Daniel Snyder, who created and spread the organization's toxic workplace culture. Allen was fired in 2019 after 10 seasons with the team, and Republicans maintained it was Allen who controlled the team's day-to-day operations and released transcripts of portion of Daniel Snyder's 11 hours of testimony in which the owner denied allegations of sexual harassment and sexual assault and denied viewing explicit videos secretly recorded of cheerleaders. Republicans say Snyder was supportive of policy changes to protect employees, including Allen's removal, and highlighted testimony from former team exec Brian LaFemina, who said he had no knowledge of Snyder participating in or perpetuating a bad culture and did not see any evidence of financial fraud. The Republicans called the House Oversight investigation, quote, an ends-oriented effort to take down an NFL team owner. What would those ends be? Well, we have just reached another layer in this incredibly changing story. Who's pulling the strings? Coming up tonight at 6, the elaborate conspiracy theory pushed by Republicans involving one of the leading candidates to buy the team, billionaire Jeff Bezos.